Start recording. Okay, perfect. Okay, so without further ado, do you mind starting us out, Miss Huang?
Yes, yes. So tonight we're gonna covering some topic, and the most popular topic is about the CPT, about our admissions requirement, about our in-person frequency, and about the class schedule. So let's start it. So let's talk about a little bit about Monroe University. We founded in 1933 just with 7 female students. After Great Depression, Monroe University started in 1933. So Monroe University has stayed true to the mission, quality education for career success. Now we serve a slightly different than the slide. We serve 9,000 students from over 95 countries with
Mm.
50,000 global alumni. So each year we have our graduation ceremony in the Radio City Hall. So if any of you want to be part of the ceremony, let me know. We can get a ticket and introduce you to our biggest day of the year. So our educational approach, hands-on programs taught by industry professions, connect theory with the real-world practice. All of our professor is from the field. For example, accounting. Majority of our accounting professor, not only as a teacher, they has a side job or they working for the accounting industry more than 20, 30 years, but they love teaching. They have passion on education. So after work or after retire, they come to the university to teaching. So each of our instructor or professor are from the industry. Location. We have 2 locations in New York. The international campus is in New Rochelle, just 35 minutes from Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan. If any of you guys live in close to Midtown, you walk to the Grand Central Terminal, take the Metro North. Only 35 minutes from Midtown Manhattan to New Rochelle. After you get off the train, only 5 minutes walk from the train station to our classroom. So it's really convenient, quiet town in located in Westchester. So we have the near transit, restaurant, shops, and New York City Entertainment Center. Okay,
Yeah, it's very great. It's actually a very easy commute from Midtown Manhattan, and I'm really excited to see our graduation ceremony sometime at the Radio City Hall. That's very cool.
great. So we offering like more numerous of like the programs, but tonight we gonna focus on some like in the student majority of the student would like to apply, which is the MBA field, the STEM program, and the criminal justice and psychology and health public service. We do offering MS in accounting, MBA, regular MBA, and MBA Master of Business Management, Analytics, and IT. That's a STEM program, which is the 45 credits. The regular MBA only like 36 credits, but the accounting, which is also a very popular major. However, we require the background. Student has to have a bachelor degree in accounting in order to get into the program. However, this program it's designed for the CPA. If after the student graduate from this program, everybody is ready for to taking the CPA exam, and the passing rate, I will say it's over 80%. So the next section is technology and data. We have MS in computer science, MS in data science, and we also offering advanced certificate in data science. This program is really interesting because it only taking 18 credits. You can finish in 1 year, and it considered as half level higher than the master degree. You probably will eligible for another OPT after finishing this 18 credits with this. So if you are interested, we can talk about this later. So we
Yeah.
also have the health and public service field. We have Master of Public Health. We have MS in Healthcare Administration and PH in Biostatistics. This is 45 credits as well, considered as STEM. We have Master in Public Administration. The last section will be Criminal Justice and Psychology. We have MS in Criminal Justice. We have MS in Forensic Psychology. And all those see the little star, that means it's a STEM program. If you haven't got your master degree yet, you apply for that program, you're eligible for a 3 years OPT after graduating. The next slide.
Oh, yes.
The on-campus requirements. So we are located in New York City. One major campus is in Bronx. The weekday some of them are holding in the Bronx campus. However, if you are interested in the weekend program, which is only in New Rochelle, which I introduced before, which the international office located, we issued I-20s, CPTs, and even my office located in this campus. But some students says, but it sounds like Bronx is more easier to commute. No worries. We have the free shuttle bus every hour on both campuses. If you from a Bronx campus, you can take the free shuttle to New Rochelle campus. If there's no traffic, it's only taking 30 minutes. So the enrollment window for now at this stage. How come I say now? Because we're probably going to add more intake in the very near future. At this moment, we have winter, spring, summer, and fall. The class schedule during the weekday, it starts roughly from 6 p.m. But during the weekend class, it starts from 10 to 1:30 to 4:30. So the semester break, leave opportunities. After student complete 3 semesters with at least 18 credits, student eligible for a semester break, which student can have more than 4-month break. However, during this break, student not allowed to apply for CPT. If you're willing to non-stop to doing your CPT, you cannot take the semester break. However, during the 2 semester, for example, our spring semester between spring and fall have 1-month break. You can enjoy the break with no gap with any CPT because that's the break between semester and semester. So I don't want to confuse everyone. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, sounds good.
For the CPT policy, we require students to renew CPT each semester. Some student might think, wow, that's a lot of work to do. If I taking 3 semester, I need to apply 3 times. Yeah, for us, it's also a huge workload because we need to taking maybe 800 students application each semester, and every student will pushing for their CPT I-20 because really time sensitive. However, this action is protect our student. We don't want those like renew each semester make us feel stressed. But for student side, if the one credit CPT is a class, the class has to start from the first day of the semester and end day is the last day of the semester. Usually you cannot take a class for 1 year long, like 365 days, right? It doesn't make really sounds like that way. And during this new administration now, so we would like to take more responsibility. We would like to renew to every student's CPT documents each semester and ensure student has no problem. Because in the future, if student got FE, if student get punished by the USCIS, we have the document that says that's a credit course. We have the attendance approval. We have the renewal approval. Because the USCIS not going to punish your employer, not going to punish the school. Student will be the only one got punished. So we would like to protect our student to renew each semester. So CPT reminder, the full-time CPT over 12 months during the program will affect the OPT eligibility. However, if you already have a master degree from the previous school, that's not applied to you because you already know OPT to apply in the same level degree. But if you taking the advanced certificate program, you might qualify for another OPT opportunities. So like I mentioned, CPT is a 1 credit course, has to be registered each semester. Okay, next slide. Tuition. Yes, it does like a little bit complicated to the student because we have the different rate. Because when the student starting the first master with us, the 7 credits will be $6,760. If the student already have a master degree within the United States, the second master tuition rate gonna be $4,598. How come there's a difference? Let me explain. Because we have a lot of students already have a very good like master degree with very high GPA from a very like famous university. Everybody gonna ask for the scholarship. For us, it's hard to handle like a couple like 1,000 students. Each of them will like to apply for scholarship. We need to review every single documents. So for the second master degree, we lower the tuition into 4,000 something for 7 credits. In the New York City area, I believe that's really affordable and reasonable tuition rate. But for the first master student, there's a chance if you have very good background from your undergrad, there's chance to have a scholarship. But for the second master, there's no scholarship available because it's built in. For the advanced certificate in data science, the 7 credits, which include the CPT charge, will be 5,390. Yeah, you can see the total number, how much you need to pay for the whole degree. And if it's 36 credit program during at the stage, you probably the whole charge gonna be $34,000 roughly. For the second master, it's only take $21,000. For the total 42 credits or 45 credits, it's gonna be a little bit more. For first master student, it's $4,329. $290. Second master student gonna be 27,360. But it's gonna be a slightly different because each year, the inflation rate, we might increase the tuition rate a little bit, but not gonna be that much. It was gonna be lower than 3%. Yeah, that's it. So we have a flexible class schedule. During the weekday, only 3 programs student can take in fully weekend program. MBA, the MBA program, data science, computer science, and advanced certificate. This 4 program, we fully open all the classes on the Saturday module. However, other major, for example, forensic psychology, criminal justice, accounting, public health, healthcare administration, public administration, those class you have to take during the weekday, but it's only one day. Maybe your class falling on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So student only need to come to the campus once a month, either weekend or the weekdays. Yeah, about the workload, actually different major, like business major and computer science major are totally different, right? So the assignment gonna be different. Some professor, they give more assignments, but some professor, they like to student to have a presentation more. But that's like different professor's style. I do not like taking every single one's class, so I cannot tell. But we do have some professor's rating in some websites. So if you would like to taking some notes or to check on the professor style is matching yours, you can go to ratemyprofessor.com or some website to check the professor you have, the workload. Yeah.
Yes, and we will have a Monroe University survival kit, so you can also find course reviews or submit your course review there, so we can see what the workload it looks like for each class. We can help each other build a community. So yeah,
Great.
yeah, that's everything. Is there anything you want to add, Ms. Huang? Or if not,
No,
we can.
I'm good. I'm just very happy to join the webinar tonight, and I'm willing to share all the information with our potential students.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. It was really what you just presented. It was very cool, very good, very detailed. So, I have some questions from students' forums. So I'm gonna start with those questions first, and then if anybody in the meeting room want to ask any questions, we'll get to your questions in a little bit. You can also type in your question in the chat box if you prefer that, rather than speaking up. Okay, so I have a lot of questions for you, Ms. Huang. Are you ready?
Sure. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so we have like different sections for the questions. So first we're going to talk a little bit more about the admissions related. First I want to talk about what are the minimum admission requirements at Monroe University, like including GPA, language proficiency, and academic qualifications.
So I will say the 3.0 is our minimum requirement for all majors. So for the English proficiency, if you have a master degree in the United States already, the will be waived. But if you don't, if you taking Duolingo, we require a minimum 105. If IELTS, it's 6.0.
Perfect. Okay, next question we have, what are the transcript requirements for international students? Are original documents or stamped copies required?
Yes, the only thing we require for original official is the transcript. So we need to have official transcript either from overseas with a stamp, or some students study the undergrad in the States. You just order the electronic version and send it to my email, or the registrar's office's email will be fine.
Okay, perfect. And number three, we have, after submitting the application, how long does it usually take to receive an admission decision?
Around 3 business days.
Oh, wow, very fast. Thank you for your hard works.
Yeah, because some students says I already submitting for 2 weeks. I haven't received anything. So sometime maybe you guys need to shooting me an email says I already submit my document. Is there anything I'm missing? That's why I didn't got the admissions letter yet. So usually if you notify me says I already submit everything, it take 3 to 5 business days the most to have the outcome and result.
Yeah, that makes sense. And number four, question four, we have, what are the common reasons for application rejection?
Ah, the the majority reason I will see it's the low GPA,
Mm,
or you got academic dismissal from other universities. But we will see student has a holistic approach. We're gonna review all the documents before we making the judgment.
okay, sounds good. There's like there's a question in the chat box. Someone asking, what if my GPA is about 2.8? Does that mean we don't have a choice at all at Monroe University?
Oh, no, that depends. I will need to see the whole, like, for example, if your working experience is really great, or your 2.8 GPA maybe from a very difficult major, for example, physics or nursing, or if in 2.8 GPA from a very good school, but you only like one semester you didn't do really great, but other than that, all the semester are good. So we're not gonna reject student only based on GPA. But I would say that's the most common reason get the denial. But we can review 2.8, still got a chance.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for explaining that. And I see there's more questions in the chat box. I can get to them when we're gonna talk about that section of questions here I have. So next question we have is about how large is the international student population at Monroe University?
International student, I would say we have 9,200 students registered for the spring semester. I would say 2,000 students from over the world internationally. So the big majority body, it's local student.
That should be a good sign.
Yeah,
And
the ratio is really
yeah.
healthy.
Are there any specific intake periods or application deadlines for the Day-1 CPT programs?
I will say at least we need to have a student get admitted, the CVs transfer into us at least 1 week before the school starts.
Okay, 1 week. Okay, next, let's see. Someone in the chat asks, what if I have earned a master's degree from China? Could I get the visa if F1 when I apply another degree?
Yeah, we have like I said, we do not only offering the CPT program. The CPT is an extra bonus. For example, I will say for our international student, maybe more than half of them receive the F1 visa directly from overseas. Maybe half of them it's transfer student, which they already have a degree in the States. So if you want to apply for the visa, that's totally fine. That's major student doing now. I have a pretty good visa approval rate. I have a student who got last semester who got an offer from other university. He went to embassy, got visa denial for 6 times. The 7 times he receive our offer, go to the embassy and got the visa approved.
Oh, wow.
And he was really like asked me, do you know someone in the embassy? I said, no, that's not the case because maybe the international student and the undergrad and grad students ratio is really healthy for Monroe University. That's why our student get really good visa approval rate. For example, if from China, I would say 80% of my student or 85% of my student receive the visa overseas.
Okay, that's good to know. Next section we have tuition and fees related questions. So first questions we have is the CPT related fee included in the tuition? If not, what is the specific cost?
The CPT, it's a 1 credit course, which is $500. Yes, when I mention those fees, it's included. But for example, if the student have two major class plus 1 credit CPT, that's the tuition rate. However, if the student have two major class, have one foundation plus one CPT, that's 8 credits total. So student need to pay extra fees. But the fee is already include the CPT, I would say.
Okay. Besides tuition, are there any other additional mandatory fees? If so, what are they and how much does it cost?
Not a I'm aware of maybe like a $75 international resources fee each semester, which is include the tuition I gave. The first time student only need to pay $100 acceptance confirmation fee. That's the one-time fee, and it's $100. For example, if student it's a change of status from H1B to F1, from H4 to F1. So this group of students need to pay $600 acceptance confirmation fee. However, after their change of status got approval, we will refund 500 of the fee to their tuition rate. They can request for refund or going to their tuition. So basically, only charge $100.
Okay, perfect. And if you're to all the students who are trying to apply for Monroe University, we also, if you apply with our consultation, we can also waive the application fee.
Oh yeah, yeah, the
Yeah.
$50 application fee. How come I didn't mention? Because if you guys apply through CISI, that's waived. That's why I
Yeah,
didn't mention.
yeah, because it will be waived. So let us know if you're trying to apply for Monroe University. Okay, and what are the specific financial guarantee requirements when applying?
For second master student, the minimum requirement we need to have in the bank is more than $24,000. If first master is 28,560, it's more than $28,000 because that's the fee required by USCS CVS. They need to ensure student have enough funding for at least 1 year of the tuition plus the living expense. So school not going to charge anything. Student only need to show this bank statement to us, our DSO, in order to issue the I-20 to student.
Okay, perfect. And the last question from the tuition and fees related questions. Does Monroe University offer a tuition installment or payment plan? And what are the terms?
Yes, student can start to apply for the installment start from the second semester. The first semester, student has to pay in full because that's a commitment. But starting from the second semester, student can make the installment in 4 installments each semester.
Okay, perfect. I have one more questions about admissions related. So some people were asking me, like if they have a first master from another country, like the UK or China, would they also be considered a second master at
Yeah,
Monroe? No?
that's first master in the States.
Oh.
However, you could apply for the scholarship.
Okay, sounds good. And now we have more academic program related. So how many courses must a student take each semester, and what are the specific requirements for online and in-person classes?
For international student, at least 7 credits each semester, 2 major class plus 1 credit, either foundation or CPT course. And
Okay,
it's we use the modality, it's a combination of hybrid, online, and the in-person. You only need to come to campus once a month. Other than that, the all other 3 weeks, you're taking virtual or you're taking online. Yeah.
okay. And the next question we have is, what are the class format requirements? How how are the online versus in-person classes structured for CPT eligibility?
I don't quite understand.
I think the question means that like how many hours
Oh, the contact hour. Our 3 credits class each week gonna be 3 hours.
and the in-person classes.
Same, 3
Okay.
hours.
And what happens if a student misses an on-campus session due to travel or emergency?
Oh, that's a good question because I got a phone call or emails before the in-person class, but I do not encourage students to do so. Everyone knows like the situation right now, it's not that encouraging about missing class. But if you really have emergency, like you're sick, you can provide the doctor notes to your academic advisor and your professor and let them know. In the future, if you got a RFE or you got any questioning, at least you have the written proof.
Yeah. What if oh, sorry. Next question we have, can students change programs or majors after enrollment?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Sounds good. And we now have the last section, which is CPT related questions. We have a lot of questions here, but I also see some questions in the chat, so we'll get to that. First questions we have here is, could you briefly explain the CPT application process at Monroe University and the required documents?
The CPT is one credit class. Like I said, first step, student need to get accepted. Second, student need to release the service record from previous school to us, and then student get registered. I will send out the CPT guidance email to all the students. Because the student already have, that's conditional. Student need to have a job offer in order to apply for that, because that's sorry,
Yeah.
critical practical training. That's a training. So student has to have a job offer. Student need to have a CPT request form. The employer need to sign a graduate professional form. So that's all we need, and I-94.
Okay, perfect. And how long does it usually take to get CPT approval after submitting the application?
You mean if students submitting the CPT application
Yes.
usually take 5 to 7 business days?
Okay. And when is the earliest date a student can begin using CPT? Does this university allow CPT pre-approval?
The earliest possible date to starting CPT is the first day of the class.
Okay. And what are CPT renewal requirements? Do students need to reapply periodically, and what kind of like documents would they need?
Like I said from the beginning, students need to apply each semester. That means 3 times a year. Before the semester ends, maybe like a month before, like in the middle of the semester, our CPT coordinator will send out all the email to student. If you are interested in next semester's CPT, please submit all the required documents to me. So the same document I mentioned before, if you have the same employer, you will easily got approved, because they don't need to verify if your employer is a legitimate, is the office location is not residential, is your employer had like it's a real company. So we don't need to verify that, because we already verified from the previous semester. You're gonna be very quick.
Okay, perfect. And yeah, it's great to have reminders from the CPT advisors. What are some important considerations when applying for CPT? What are common reasons for CPT denial?
I will say the common delay due to the hold. For example, the New York State requires students to have 2 doses of MMR and meningitis. So before the first semester, usually if you only missing one document and you said, okay, can I get it during the semester? I say, okay, I will give you the chance. You can do the MMR during the semester. Or some students will totally forget to do it. So before the registration, you have a hold. If you have a hold, you cannot get registered. You cannot processing the CPT. Second reason is like an official transcript. We require students to submitting undergrad and grad transcript if all the previous institutions official transcript to our register office. So if you're missing one of them, it might be delay the CPT application as well. These
Okay.
2 major common reasons. And the third one, maybe you are owning some, you have some balance in your for your tuition. So that's 3 reasons to get delayed. But denial, the most common reason will be the major your study not real and the CPT of job offer letter are not related. For example, you are a law degree or criminal justice, you apply for an MBA job. That's not related. Usually we not denial. We will ask student, could you revise this? Or your employer could be revise the job offer letter a little bit to align with your major. We're not going to deny a student. We'll ask them, discuss with them, call them, help them to revise the job offer letter.
Sounds good. Thank you. And next questions we have, and also some students are asking me this. Can students continue to use CPT during academic breaks or holidays?
There's two conditions. If, for example, our spring semester and fall semester has 1 month break, yes, you could use the CPT no gap during the break. However, after 3 semester, you're allowing to take a 1 semester break. That's 4 months, more than 4 months. If you're taking the break, you are not eligible for CPT.
Yes, and some students are asking, are they eligible for CPT in the summer?
Yes, if they're taking class, yes.
Yes, so in all, let me just reiterate this because there's been some confusion. So
Yeah.
yeah, as long as you are taking class, you are able to use CPT. But if you are not taking class for this semester because you've taken classes for 3 consecutive semesters, you're allowed to take a break from school for 1 semester. If you choose to take that break, you wouldn't be eligible for CPT during your break. However, during semesters, if you're taking classes consecutively during semesters, in the academic breaks, like for example, like Ms. Huang said, between fall semester and spring semester, you can still take, you can still
There's
use.
no break between
Yes.
these two. Like
Yes.
you can taking the CPT, you can do whatever you're doing, no interruption.
Yes. Uh, and next questions we have is if a student travels abroad during the break, do they need to pause their CPT authorization?
How long? If it's only like a 1 week or 2 weeks like vacation, actually you do not need to pause. However, you are taking a break 4 months, you're going to overseas. Yeah, you cannot still applying CPT because the CPT fourth document of the CPT is I-94. I-94 shows you're physically in the States. You have to be here, then eligible for the CPT.
Yeah. And are there limitations on work hours while using CPT, like part-time, full-time?
Nope. There's only two options for us. One is less than 20 hours, considered as part-time. Another one is more than 20 hours, that considered as full-time. 40 hours considered as full-time. 45 hours also considered as full-time. So there's not much limitation.
Mm-hmm. Can CPT be started in the middle of a semester?
That's a good question. We have two sections. If you're missing the section A, you can start from the section B. But like I said, it's a class. It has to align with the class.
Yeah, I don't have to start with the.
Yeah, you cannot starting like from whenever. You
Yeah.
have to have a timeline. If student interested, we can discuss like one by one or by CSI's consultant. You can starting. We have a like a late registration date. If if you didn't start from the first day of the school, you can start like maybe 1 or 2 weeks later. But you cannot like maybe next week is a final. You starting now. It has to have a timeline. I can share with you guys later about this.
Yeah. Ask us if you have any questions when you are having confusions about CPT start date. Can a student choose not to use CPT at all during their studies?
Yeah, sure. Like I said, we have 9,200 students, only 800 students requesting for CPT. That's like an add-on, like an extra bonus. If you don't want it, then it's totally fine. You're just regular student. If you want this, we have it.
Okay. And is the last question I have here is there any additional CPT courses? Sorry, is there an additional CPT related course required when using CPT? If so, is there a minimum grade requirement for that course? And what if a student GPA falls below 3.0 during their studies? I guess that's kind of like two questions. So first question, I guess, is what will be the grade requirement for the CPT course?
Pass or fail. If you fail, you cannot taking again. So you have to pass the CPT course. You're not gonna be hard. You're gonna be like each week you're gonna submitting document on time. That's the requirement because only one credit. You're not gonna be like the major class. So many requirements. So student need to submitting this on time.
Yeah, that makes sense. And what happens if a student's GPA falls below 3.0 during their studies?
Then not eligible for CPT.
Yeah. Would there be like a warning?
First semester, if you below 3.0, you're gonna be academic warning. If you have 2 semester below 3.0, you're gonna be a dismissal.
Okay. Not even, so first semester below 3.0, you can't use CPT. And if you have 2 semesters below 3.0, you will be dismissed from the school.
Right,
Right.
correct.
And that's all the questions I have. And let's see the chat box. So let's read from the above. Um, um, yes. So I guess we answered that, Tina Wang. Uh, Sarah, can I use CPT during summer? And if I get unemployed, do I still need to pay for CPT fee?
Yes, the first question, you can use CPT during summer. Second, if you are employed, you need to notify our CPT coordinator. We're gonna stop the CPT course, give you a regular 1 credit foundation course because you have to comply with the minimum requirement 7 credits rule, and we're gonna give you another 1 credit class instead of the CPT class.
Mm. So another student asked, I only have business related degrees. Is it possible for me to get into MSCS or MSDS programs?
Yes. This two
Yeah.
program, you can get into this two program. However, you probably need some foundation course. The foundation course probably will take 1 semester.
Mm.
But the foundation course only $400 each course. If the CS related, maximum 3 foundations. So you pay like 120, $1,200 plus the administration fee. So you pay like a little bit more than the regular student because you need a foundation course.
Oh, I see. RS asks, where can we find the application for Day-1 CPT? If EAD expiring in November, how early can we apply?
Yeah, like I said, the CPT is like internal document. How come? Because student become our student get registered, and then we can authorize student to do the CPT. It's a 1 credit course. But if you're not even our student, not even start your own application, not even get accepted, because we have a couple thousand students maybe have this similar question, gonna goes to our CPT coordinator. They have
Yeah.
no time to processing CPT for the current student. However, the basic question I already covered tonight. And what's the second question again? I forgot.
I think it's more about the admission. So I would suggest for questions like this, you can also ask us afterwards. So the student's EAD expiring in November, how
Oh,
early?
November.
Yeah.
Okay. We so far we only have the semester start in September 5, and the next semester gonna start in January 2026. However, we have a chance we'll launch a new intake in end of October. If we launching that intake, that's a perfect timing fits your schedule. But I'm not 100% sure at this moment. Please reaching out to us maybe sometime in September because we will finalize in September if we were launching a intake in October 25 this year. it possible, but I haven't got the academic approval yet. So it's still in processing.
Yeah, also we will also update it on our website too. And if you come ask us, we'll also update you.
Yeah.
And also if your EAD or your OPT is expiring in November, but you want to start in September, the September fall term, when you transfer your CVIS, your EAD or your OPT will expire. It's not until November if you want to start early to start CPT, start the semester at another university. Sarah said, can I drop the school if I get H-1B? I would say that's a very hard question. It's not, you can't.
You haven't even start to apply. Then you ask me the drop off question. That's for admissions officer. That's a really interesting. But if you already have another status, yes, you could. However, we encourage students at least you like finish that semester. Don't drop off in the middle of the semester. At least you finish that semester. Why? First, from the financial standpoint, you already make the tuition payment, and at that time it's been 4 weeks. You cannot get any refund. But second, in the future, if you apply for H-1B or green card, uh, they will ask you question like RFE, like you said you want to study. How come you got H-1B and you drop out the school right away? Your intention is real study. And third, maybe in the future, you never know, because this big environment, knock woods, we don't want our student to get laid off or something. But if bad thing happen in the future, you always need to have the plan B for your own goods in the future. That's my suggestion. But you can drop the day your H-1B effective, which is October 1st, right? Yeah, that's your choice.
Yeah, and also I feel like it's not, nobody can say like a certain answer to this question. It's to your own discretion. You can finish it or you can drop it, but it's for you to decide if it'll affect you in the future when you change another status, when you get a green card or something. How many hours do I need for doing homework weekly? What would you say? Hard. I feel like
I do not know which major. I do not know which professor. I do not know like how long you're gonna take. But I
Mhm.
will say it's reasonable. If you are
Yeah.
studying the States, and then we will just average like other school. We're not gonna be like hundreds tons of homeworks, but it's gonna be reasonable.
Okay, that's good to know. I think that's reasonable. Like,
Right?
yeah,
Because we share the same standard, we are accredited by the Middle States. If other schools share the same standard, valued by the same accredited body, the requirement gonna be the same because we are regional accredited.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, Annie asked, how long does the MBA program take to finish? What is the maximum length? And can you do CPT throughout that period?
First of all, we have two kind of MBA program. One is a STEM 45 credits. This could be 3 years. Another one is 36 credits. This could be 2 years or 2.5 years. That depends. Like if you're taking a break or you're not. If you're taking 9 credits per semester or taking 7 credits per semester. So the maximum I would say 3.5 years. Yeah, if
Mm-hmm.
45 credits. And yes, if you already use up your OPT in the master level, you can doing the CPT entire program. However, if you haven't used your master level in OPT, you need to cut it short within 1 year to the full time. Otherwise, it's gonna affect the eligibility for OPT application after you graduated.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And Sue asks, is it possible to get any scholarship?
If you're a first master student, yes, we do have the scholarship available. But if you're second master, sorry, we do not have any scholarship for this group.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and if you want to save some money, please come to us, and we can waive the application fee for you. It's $50. Uh, and what is somebody asked, is the regional accreditation important?
Of course, that's really important. That's the highest accreditation in the States.
Mm,
We have six accreditation body. We are in New York. So like NYU, like Columbia, we're under the same accreditation body, which is Middle States. You can
mhm,
go to our official website to search for this. That's really important. And
mm.
the regional one is the highest accreditation.
Yes, it is very important, I would say. And we only represent schools with the highest regional accreditation. So I would say it's very important for, in terms of like how legitimate and how credible the school is. Tina Wang asked, can I start my CPT in the middle of the semester?
In the middle of the semester, we do have a section.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it.
I gonna share some like I would like go back to double confirm with the DSO because back then we allow student to have a two section, section A, section B. Either section L, you take one credit of the CPT. However, we change our requirement in this September. Student the CPT class become the 15 weeks long because we want to like more safe our student don't get RFE, don't get anything questioning. So we change our requirement. But I would double confirm with our CPT team, and in the near future, I probably can do another section of the webinar. Then we can have
Yeah.
more, we can collect more questions. Next time, I can just answering all the questions which student concerns.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think that's all the questions I have for today. Thank you so much, Ms. Huang, for joining our session. You really put a lot of useful information into today's session.
Thank you so much. It's perfect timing now. It's almost exactly 1 hour.
Yeah, exactly. And if any of the students have any questions, you can email me or scan the QR code on the bottom left. It's our website. You can also submit the message through our website. It'll also be me or my other coworkers responding to you. So if yeah, just ask us anything and we can help you along the way before and after your admission. Thank you so much.
No problem. And they're answering question more faster than us.
Yes.
But if you guys have any questions, feel free to reaching out to CISI. They're very professional. They're really like efficient, quick, and very thoughtful as well.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Miss
meeting you guys
Huang.
tonight. Have
You
a great
too.
night,
Nice working with
everyone.
you. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Okay.